And I think, there are some clients I've had that have been closed off. And it's interesting because I've actually found that some clients they become used to the pain and the anger, and it becomes a friend that they have around, and they don't want to let go of that. They are so used to carrying around that pain. They are so used to carrying around that pain on the back of their shoulder. They're so used to that weight that they would not know what to do with themselves if that weight was taken off. And it's such a scary idea. And I feel for those people so much, because when you have pain for so long, it can become a shock to take that pain off. But the only way to truly grow and move on is to let go of that pain. If you're grieving for someone, that grief will never end. It will always be around. As I've mentioned, I've lost a daughter. I've lost a daughter at birth 5.5 years ago, and I'll never forget her. I love her, and there are times that I'm going to grieve. Grief is different, though, than holding on to pain and holding on to the what ifs and holding on to the judgments of ourselves for the things that we did. For a long time, I judged myself and I second-guessed my decisions in those days that she passed. But it did me no good. So there's a difference between knowing that grief, if you are grieving, is going to be around, and letting go of all of that other pain and all of that other judgment. Because judging yourself, you are your own worst enemy. And if offered the opportunity to release that judgment, would you? Sometimes we're used to it. I blogged yesterday about the fact that I am a glass half empty person. And every single day I have to work on looking at things as a glass half full. And that means finding the silver lining and finding those little things. But it's hard because I am so used to thinking as in a glass half empty perspective that it takes me a lot more work to look for the silver linings. Likewise, if you are so used to feeling pain and judging yourself, it's going to take a lot more work to let go of that judgment. And an hour or 2 hour reading with me probably won't release all of that judgment of yourself, because that's you. That's work that you need to do. But I can point out what's causing that judgment in the first place. And I can, and through God, can give you permission to think at things just a little differently, and I can help you with skills that you can use. But the bottom line of all of this is you have to be ready to let go and let God. You have to be ready to be vulnerable with me, most likely a total stranger on the internet. And that is such a scary prospect. But when you're able to truly be vulnerable with me, I promise you, we can get to the bottom of things. Maybe it'll take more than one session. I have had clients that I've talked to multiple times, and that's okay. Because I love those clients and I love getting to know them. And the deeper I know them and the deeper I understand them, the more I can help them. But it's a start. So the question I'm asking you today as we end this podcast, because I like to keep these podcasts about 20 minutes, is A, are you ready to release anything that's holding you back? If you feel stuck, if you feel like you're just walking in circles, like I have a 4-year-old son, and when he talks, he literally walks in circles because he's thinking, and you can tell he's processing. But some of us as adults are still walking in those circles, and we don't know how to start walking straight. Or it's like Zoolander, he doesn't know how to turn left. Or turn right. I think it's turn left. I can teach you how to turn left. I can flip that switch for you. But you have to be open and ready. And once you do, you will be amazed by the results. Not just a day later or 3 days later or a week later, but months later, you will still be feeling the effects if you're ready for that change. Are you ready for that change? Are you ready to truly release that pain from your childhood? Are you ready to move on? It is easy to stay comfortable in our pain and our judgment of ourselves, but it does us no good. And it doesn't allow us to help others when we're stuck. But when we're able to release, we also help others. We also are able to spread our light out because it's not so concentrated. It's not so concentrated. We become selfless when we turn our light outward. It allows even more healing. I am not your typical tarot card reader. I am not going to give you the fluff because I want you to truly heal. I don't want you to just have a good time by laughing about some man that you may meet in 2 years. No, I want you to release that pain so you don't just meet a man, but you get that job you want, you get that house you want, you go on that adventure that you deserve. Because this isn't about the temporary things. I can tell you about the glitter and the sparkles, and that's fun and that's great. But when you are able to explore the deeper meaning of things, then you can go beyond glitter and sparkles. You get a whole freaking facelift. You don't just get a little sparkle on your face. You get a whole facelift and you get to take those masks off. Are you ready to take your masks off? Are you ready to go beyond the little glitters and sparkles and move on? If you are, I'd love to have you. I do have openings this week. I would love to chat with you more. If you'd like to learn more, you can always go to my Facebook page at facebook.com/one question at a time. You can check me out on Instagram at the number 1 question at a time. And if you'd like to know more about me personally, I have a lot of photos of my food, but you're welcome to check out my personal Instagram at the Gluten-Free Wanderer. And of course, my website, if you'd like to book, www.one-question.net. Let me know what you think of this podcast. I am now on iTunes and on Spotify. It's very exciting. Please share this recording. Please share this podcast if it meant something to you. And subscribe on Apple and rate. More ratings, the more we can reach people. Thank you so much, and I will talk to everyone soon. Bye-bye.